Here, let us see what is the effect of the eccentricity of Earth's orbit on the solar dials. And for that we are going to consider the apparent motion of the Sun. So here is our Sun. And by apparent motion I mean how it appears when observed from the Earth. Since we are standing on Earth, we'll never see the motion of Earth, and therefore we will see that the Sun is going around the Earth in an orbit like this instead of the other way around. And of course every aspect of the motion will be mirrored exactly. So this ideal Sun would be going around the Earth in 365 days. Then we have made a couple of simplifying assumptions. Number one, we have assumed the orbit to be perfectly circular. So the Sun will be going around it in a uniform circular motion. It will be covering equal angles in equal intervals of time. And number two, we will assume the Earth's axis to be normal to this plane of the orbit. Under these circumstances, our sundial is going to be perfect. It will keep up with our wristwatch all the time throughout the year. No correction needed. So the Sun will be appearing at exactly 12 noon local time at the highest point in the sky, the meridian. It will do it all the days throughout the year. But things are not so simple. So let us see what is happening in the actual situation. So for that I'll get rid of this ideal Sun, okay? And instead let us see how the actual orbit of the Sun might appear around the Earth. Again we are talking about relative motion, okay? So since the Earth is going around the Sun in elliptical orbit, the Sun will appear to go around the Earth in an elliptical orbit. Now the effect of elliptical orbit is such that when the body is at the farthest point, it moves slower, and as it falls down kind of towards this primary object, it's going to speed up under gravity. So at this point, the closest approach, it's going to move the fastest, and then again as it sort of recedes away from the primary object, it slows down under gravity to become the slowest at this particular point. That is what our actual Sun is going to do. So this is our actual Sun. Let us set this in motion. So you'll see it is speeding up fastest, slowing down slowest here. Again speeding up half the time and slowing down half the time. So this is our actual Sun, while this is our ideal Sun. And you can see both of them are going around their own orbits. To know their relative positions, or to know what is happening between them, let us have a construction, a geometric construction. It's a simple radius drawn from the Earth to the ideal Sun. And relative to this radius, now you can see how the actual Sun is moving. So let us do this step by step. Let us start with this position where the actual Sun is at the farthest point and therefore moving at the slowest, but it is aligned with the ideal Sun, and therefore there is no correction needed in our solar dial. But its velocity being the slowest, in just one day it is going to lag behind by about 8 seconds, and this lag will continue. The Sun will lag more and more behind till about this date, beginning of October, 3rd of October, where the difference between the two would be the maximum. It will reach something like 7.5 to 8 minutes. At this point, however, the actual Sun has caught up with the ideal Sun in terms of speed. So from this point onwards, as it falls towards its closest approach, it's going to speed up, and therefore it is going to catch up with the ideal Sun. So now the error would be sort of reducing, and at this point the two have caught up again. So around 3rd of January, again we reach a position of no correction. But at this point, the closest approach, this Sun, actual Sun, is moving at the fastest. And so it will actually overtake the ideal Sun. So the very next day, our sundial would be faster by 8 seconds. And again, this error now would keep on accumulating to about 7.5 to 8 minutes by the beginning of April. And again, the slowing down phase would let the ideal Sun catch up with the actual Sun till 3rd of July is reached, and the two are aligned back again. Now, does this remind you of something? Here we are looking at a periodic phenomena which repeats itself every year. Number two, for half the cycle it is having a positive correction. For half the cycle it is having negative correction. And then again, the maximum values of this correction, the amplitude, is equal on both sides, 7.5 minutes on one side, 7.5 minutes on the other. It reminds us of a sinusoidal function. And it is indeed a sinusoidal function. Let us actually look at the graph. So here is a graph. Let us start at about 3rd of January when the correction is 0. It is this position in our orbit where the two are aligned and there is no correction needed. But from this point onwards, the actual sun is going to move faster. So this is that phase. It reaches this maximum negative correction here on 3rd of April, and it will continue till the 3rd of July when the position is aligned again. So this is that position where the two have aligned on 3rd of July. And then by 3rd of October, it has reached its maximum positive value, about 7.5 minutes, which is this position. So we'll have to add that amount. So this correction is positive as seen in this part of the cycle. So this is the correction that we need to do to our sundial because of the eccentricity of Earth's orbit. Of course, this is not the only correction, and we'll see another one in next clip.